Hello and welcome to Scientifically Speaking. Today we're talking about heteromac formations. Now, when I explain a double helix, I'll tell you that there's a vortex which splits into two waves, double helix vortex, into two double helix waves. Then there's another double helix vortex and double helix waves. Now, the thing about a heteromac is that's one vortex, that's one vortex, that's one vortex, one. Now, if the atmospheric pressure, electrical pressure, is greater than this plant will be flat on the ground, looking like a weed, a flat weed. But because the electrical pressure in this plant is greater than the electrical pressure in the atmosphere, it pushes its way up. If it didn't, all these vortices would be flat to the ground with a flower arrangement like that. How many vortices would be in that double helix? There would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double helixes. 7 double helixes in the one helix. So some people are going around saying that there's some kind of 3 helix thing. No, you've always got your main beam which travels all the way up, and these are the double helix waves that come off it. So the true travel of energy is a double helix wave. Now the easiest way to explain this is how light travels. One pulse of light will zip along as a vortex. When it hits an energy barrier, it performs a wave, and this vortex gets sucked into the wave, and these two rotate it and spit it out the front. These two waves get sucked back in and follow the light travel. It creates an Ouroboros sphere for itself. And as we can see from this paper from phys.org, March 6, 2020, catching new patterns of swirling light mid-flight. Processing data shows the intensity forming a ring left and the phase forming the vortex right. And basically it's saying, if you could see the flying, blah blah blah. In the same region of space and time, the phase of light pulse forms a swirling pattern, creating a vortex centered in the donut hole. When they found structures akin to optical smoke rings forming around these intense laser beams. So yeah, they form optical smoke rings, and I've explained fully with many smoke videos how a smoke ring is made. And normally it comes out of your mouth, which is two lungs, two vortices into one stream, and then out of your mouth comes an Ouroboros ring. And I've showed it with cigarette smoke as well, on how to form an optical smoke ring or an Ouroboros ring. But the light travel is an optical smoke ring. So yeah, I know my science. And due to the rotation of the Ouroboros sphere, anything going into the sphere is automatically accelerated out of the sphere. And so the Ouroboros ring field is created, the vortex is sucked into the ring, it is spat out the other side of the wave in a vortex, the vortex ring retreats into the vortex and it carries on as a vortex. And that's the nature of energy travel. So that's one. This is the vortex. The vertical vortex becomes the wave. The only reason this has this piece here is because there's more than one vortex in here. This is solid inside here, packed ring upon ring upon ring upon ring upon ring. So there isn't just one vortex here and one wave here. As I've said before, there's millions and billions of vortices down below electron size, below muon size, and they're all the same shape because all energy travels the same way through all matter and can be experienced and seen at different levels of reality and size. So yeah, the easiest way to talk about energy is one vortex to one wave. This here above it, that's extra energy. You see, this is an electrical bolt
that's sticking out of the ground. And what electricity does to carbon dioxide, because all plants are built from carbon, an invisible electric vortex is flying out of the ground through the seed. And what the electricity does is it grabs hold of carbon dioxide, because energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, and energy moves matter. So the electricity is transferred into the oxygen and re-energizes the oxygen, so it's breathable. But the carbon is automatically pulled into the plant. And that's how plants turn carbon dioxide into carbon and free oxygen. This is electrical. Electricity attracts matter. Magnetism inflates and separates it. This here is a collisionless wave of matter, even though it's solid. If we go down to atom size in the crystal, you will see that there is a space between each atom. It's called a collisionless wave, and it's created by electromagnetism. So this electricity, magnetism is from electricity, and electricity is from magnetism. And I think we'll end it there due to the high brain content knowledge that you would have to picture in your head. So yeah, it's always one vortex, and these two waves from this vortex are part of that vortex. These are not separate. This didn't just appear by magic. This wave split into two and folded over because the electrical pressure here was greater than the force in this vortex. And so this absorbed more energy and matter to be able to create and generate a larger electrical bolt to keep pushing out and to keep grabbing carbon from oxygen. That's how we get oxygen. That's how we get breathable oxygen. De-energized oxygen, you can't breathe it. It attaches to carbon. And so to get it back, you have to use electricity. And so carbon dioxide becomes electrified and attracted to this. The oxygen is energized and immediately spins off because of all the energy that's just been pulsed into it. It then forms a vortex and shoots away from the carbon, and the carbon is left within the electricity, which is then separated with a collisionless wave, which of course has been proven by NASA. Collisionless waves, and that's exactly what this is. This is a collisionless magnetic electromagnetic wave. So yeah, there's only ever one, then two. It's just that this is a massive vortex, that's a massive vortex, but in reality there's a billion vortices inside this. And this is this. And if people understood Tesla's number system and what he means when you accumulate energy and what you get in and what you get out, you'll understand that this is equal to this, and these are equal to that, and this is equal to that plus that plus that. It's an electrical level decreasing and increasing energy field, a waveform, until finally enough energy is absorbed to activate the next phase of the frequency DNA code instructions, which are electrical, just like every machine that's been constructed and designed. It's electrical driven, and its expression is magnetism. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and I explain things in detail using science and everything else, really, and it can't really be disputed unless somebody else has some actual evidence or an explanation. And considering nobody's ever explained life like this except me, because well, God gave it to me in visions for 3 weeks, day and night, and then for the next several years whenever I thought about things. All I had to do was imagine it, and there it was. So I'm not a one-trick pony that can't explain anything. All my videos are all different. They're not about one thing. I don't just keep showing one picture and saying you're all gonna die if you don't believe this picture. I got 500 plus videos, and pretty much every single one is on a different subject. But it's always vortex to wave, because that's how all energy travels, and matter conforms to energy. Energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, and energy moves matter. In that order. And energy and matter are separate. And you could only understand that if God sent you into a double helix for 3 days in visions, and it never changing. And that's where I got the saying, God hides things in size, because size is irrelevant. And that's why he's the God of the impossible. The further I went into this helix, like a fractal, it never changed. It never changed. Just kept going and going, which reaffirmed God's words of, there isn't anything else, there's just me. There's nothing else. I'm the only thing that exists. God is everything, and he contains it all in size. He basically showed me, because he showed me matter being moved by energy within this double helix. It showed me it could contain universes in there. It was that incredible to watch. And after 3 days of that madness, that was to stick it into me to understand there is no end to God. There's no outside of God. There is only the inside of God. Two beings, electromagnetic beings, that if they touch hands, electricity is created, the Holy Spirit. Or is it two electrical beings that when they hold hands, an EM field is created, the Holy Spirit? The Father and the Son are one, and both of them are the same. Energy beings, one from the other, and all creation from the other. Thanks very much. Bye.